everybody, my name is Adam, and welcome to my show where I share ideas about how to make your games easier to run and more fun to play. We'll start off today talking about a character that I've created for you to use. The stats are in the description below. I have it in a Google document, and I have a comment pertaining to one of the skills that she has, which is in the Advanced Player's Guide. Anyway, her name is Minolay Spellclaw. Her basic concept is that she is a half-elf, the level in Barbarian, and the level in Wizard. She's a true-blooded half-elf, meaning she was born to half-elf parents. In her childhood, she faced the horrors of slavery. Both she and her parents became extremely angry at their slaveholders. Anger welled up within her for years, and she began to use her massive intelligence to study magic. She didn't have any resources to learn it from. She instead simply played around with her hands and saw what worked. In the process of this, she learned how to shapeshift, turning her hands into claws and growing stag horns and manipulating her body into whatever she wanted. After she learned how to do this, she slayed her slaveholders and left them behind for good, even leaving her parents. Her anger never truly left her, and she began to take up the religion of Lamashtu. And she began to take up her rituals, eating hallucinogenic berries and plants, inducing visions, nightmares, and new ways to slaughter her foes, or people who even harassed her or irritated her just a little bit. Because of ingesting all these berries and plants, her eyelids are permanently swollen, and it looks like she has a bruised red eyeshadow on all the time. Her eyes are bright red, and her hair is greasy and light brown. Her familiar is a hairless rat, and her spellbook is made entirely of leather. The pages are a thinner leather, and she burned runes into the spellbook so that nobody can erase what she's written. So that's the character I have for you. Next I have a setting. Today the setting is an herbalist school. The castle may be immense, but it hides on the inside an inner courtyard, holding a garden where they grow their herbs for their usage. The hallways inside are very, very short and wind around the school. In the corners of each hallway are statues of winged insects, wasps, locusts, butterflies, anything you can imagine. Bees. Anything. Classrooms in this university are very small, only big enough to hold an instructor and 5 of his students. Unexpectedly, they don't let natural sunlight into the rest of the school. So instead, the hallways are lit with chemical candle rods, which they can strike and will stay lit for a while. Lastly, I have ideas for a plot that you can use. Your player characters find a very wealthy woman in need. Her property has been stolen, overtaken by, say, bandits or a single terrorist or something like that, somebody who endangers it and can keep her out with ease. This woman wants your players to help her, but she's not willing to pay them up front or give them any sort of reward. Instead, she does promise, truthfully, that she will negotiate that with them later after her property has been recovered. So now tying these three things together into a one-shot idea, Minolay Spellclaw could be seeking hallucinogenic plants for one of her Lamashtan rituals. Where better to find berries than in an herbalist school where everybody knows about how to use them? She negotiates with the teachers there to let her in and examine their plants. However, the teachers demand that she be a student if she's going to enter here. Minolay, being very temperamental and very angry at the world and with people in her way, in the way of her drugs, she shapeshifts and uses her rage, and slaughters 2 of them and injures many others. Everybody's outside of the school, and your players find them there, crying, doing whatever they're doing, worrying, and the dean of the school asks them to get rid of this woman, Minolay Spellclaw, and she agrees to offer them anything they desire after they've helped. If your player characters venture inside, they will find that Minolay has found the berries, and now not only is she furious at everything and in a mood to kill, she's also really high and deliriously angry. For an added effect that might make it a little bit more like a dungeon, you could also have the statues of bugs not really be statues. As soon as your players walk up to them, they transform into actual giant bugs. such as giant bees or wasps or whatever you can find in the bestiary. It's your choice. With the ideas for that one shot out of the way, I'm going to begin musing. I think it's important for everybody around the table to always have one foot in the game world. And the reason I say this is because your games are a lot more fun when you're visualizing what the game world looks like. The sun illuminating the fog, and the fog moving slightly, and that sort of thing. And the glowing fog making it hard to see something in the distance, something black, something made of metal. And then you look to the side and there's trees and things like that. It makes playing Pathfinder more fun, I think, for any role-playing game. This doesn't have to be for just Pathfinder. But you always need to be visualizing. And oftentimes when you do visualize, the image will be a little bit blurry. So what you can do, if you're a player, is ask your GM for more details about the environment. If you're the GM, what you can do is ask your brain for more details about the environment. I like to think of the GM as a sort of channel who thinks of these things and then lets them out to the players. That is the end of my minute of musing. Now I'm going to answer a question I got from my friend about characters changing alignments. I personally don't think that large events are the things that change alignment. I think it's a very gradual process. Either people growing tired of their current alignment or seeing that the other alignment that they wish to change to is more beneficial to them. So, say you have a gnome who is very lawful and doesn't have a lot of fun. What happens to gnomes when they get old and don't have a lot of fun is they begin what's called the bleaching. Their hair gets very white and they slowly go insane. It's just the way gnomes were born. So say this gnome stays very lawful for a very long time. She will quickly begin to notice the bleaching begins to occur. She's slowly getting a kind of dementia. Her hair is getting whiter. So it would serve her to change to an alignment which would be more conducive to continuing to live. So maybe the bleaching starts, and she's able to resist it for a year. But during that year, she changes to a chaotic good character instead of a lawful evil character. That would be one reason why you would dramatically change to a different alignment. Thank you for watching my show. Watch the next one. We'll have another character, another plot, another setting, and more musings and more questions and answers. If you would like to see something else, go ahead and demand it. The comments are right down there. Thank you all very much. Bye-bye for now.